martial arts, there's a lot of overlap. The blocks used in Okinawan karate are the same used in aikido. Got some type of boxer stance. Put your hands up. Typically in aikido, there's 3 movements. You can enter straight in. Enter straight in. Go to 45 and pivot. Or you can kind of go sideways. So if I had to enter straight in, I'd enter straight in like this. If I had to pivot to the side, sidestep, I can move forward, one turn, go to the side if I want to go to the side. I'll go to the side. Just step and step, tend to load, and I don't really want to hop, you want to move, so bounces up. That's how you move this athletic. And I'm going to do this weird thing with my hands, go to the side. Swinging my hands around, because I have to deflect if I'm making a connection. It's kind of like dropping your hands and bringing it up in a big circle. I go to the side, swing my arms up, and then come down, cut down. This, so for aikido, it's one-sided. Sword's one-sided. I have this right boxer stance, or a natural stance, they call it like a L stance. You make it more squared up, stand like this, weights on this foot, you can shove off. Beginner level, that's like the main thing. 90% of things in aikido is going to be going off this way. Assume that I'm fighting somebody that's right-handed. He's going to punch me, or he's going to stab me with a knife or something. You get off the line, you go that way. So this doesn't have a move, or this move doesn't have a name. It's just I'm pulling my hand away. Someone grabs my wrist, I pull it away. Sometimes techniques don't have a name, they're just natural movements. Someone grabs my wrist, turn, pull away. This doesn't have a name, I'm just pulling my hand away. Grabs, pull away. They tend to say, do it like this, do it like that. They don't name things. So if my neighbor came over and I wanted to show them how to fight, I would say, punch, punch, punch. So I'd say to the chin, to the chin, to the sternum, break the bone, to the rib, break the bone. I wouldn't name the techniques. I would say just look at what I'm doing and follow me. I would tell them, I would show them how to hit, and I'd tell them what areas to target. And I'd give them technical information. Chin, chin, ribs, break the rib. Chin, chin, sternum, break the sternum. Punch up and break the sternum. Wouldn't say left jab, right cross, uppercut. You can name techniques in aikido, a lot of things aren't named. Sometimes it helps name things. Obviously certain names or techniques have names. Knowing the name of the technique helps if you're doing for a belt and they're like, perform this move, that move. You have to know the names. If I'm training my neighbor, I'm not grading them for a belt, I'm just teaching them how to fight. These are natural movements. Naming them is almost a little bit too wordy. It's someone who knows all the names of things, doesn't have the fighting ability. So, the guy's right-handed, he wants to punch or he wants to stab. I want to go, 45 degree, I'm going to go offline, I'm going to go side step. So he attacks, inside body, grab his wrist, grab his elbow, roll his arm, break his arm. If he has a knife, break his wrist, take the knife, stab him in the neck with it. So he's right-handed, slap, grab, twist, break. And however, I have to position, cut in deeper, meaning move in deeper. Pivot or something, turn them, then break his arm. Or throw him. This is favored because this is how you would fight multiple attackers. First one comes in, slap, grab, here. This guy behind me, I can throw him behind me. As I do this, as I throw him behind me here, I can dislocate his arm as he's already off his feet going. Punch is off his feet. He doesn't have any stability. He's about to be thrown. Through the throw, I dislocate or damage the tendons of his arm. See the clean leg, bang, his shit's swinging. Throws a punch. Here, roll it. Throw gently, or this. Throw like this and let go. It's very fast. Don't care where he lands, or how he falls, or if he lands on his shoulder and breaks his shoulder, whatever. I'm dealing with the first person. So there's a guy behind me, one in front, one behind. Slap, grab, twist, break, throw, turn. I want to face the guy behind me. So I'll throw and turn to face him. First guy I threw, he's on the ground. Before he can get up, I engage with the second person. So if there's two people, you have to juggle them. Always keep one down. The other guy comes in, knock him down, this guy comes up. Before this guy can get up, knock him down, this guy comes up. There's various ways to throw them so they stay down, or kick them on the ground so they stay down. But by no means are you going down to the ground with them like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or like some type of knee waza where like he throws an attack, and maybe like a kotegishi, block here, throw, and go down with them. You will see knee waza in like Krav Maga, or military styles, or McMap, where they go to the ground with the person. Military styles are based around someone else's rifle as their main weapon. If it ever becomes hand-to-hand combat, typically it's one person, and you have to deal with one person, you're not fighting multiple people. So they want to like basically like handcuff or zip tie the dude, or pull out the knife and stab him on the ground. That's not a civilian application of aikido. Military things, systems aren't really good for civilians. A soldier's training is 90% their gun. So the civilian thing is training 100% by itself, with not mixed with anything else. It has to work. If you want to take a gun course or buy a gun and shoot on the weekends, that's a separate thing. It's not a complete system. So being complete is a mistake. It's too esoteric. It's too, you're commingling. It's retarded. So you'll be good at one thing and other things will suffer, or you'll be mediocre at many things. That's just the fact. Anybody who says otherwise is lying to you. That is like the typical stance taken online. That's popular in sports. I do not teach sports. Sports, you do kata to get the confidence to do sparring. You do sparring to get the confidence to do competition. You do competition to get the confidence to fight for real. It's these things. People only do kata, they're scared of getting hit in sparring. People only spar, they're scared of getting hit in competition. People who only do competition, they're scared of getting hit in the streets. People who are in the ring and competing are scared to street fight. If a street fight occurs, they will run away. Many people will say they'll run away. This is not, I don't teach running away. This is, it works, so we're not running away. This is, from our perspective, running away is stupid. For people saying the smartest defense is running away, that makes no sense here, and here's why. Practice 100 kicks, practice 100 punches, then at the moment of truth, run away. You didn't practice running away, you won't be good at it. At the moment you run away, all the time spent punching and kicking was a waste of time. I've done track, I've done road work, I've done treadmill. I have extreme stamina. I've had grueling workouts where I do 20 minutes to an hour of cardio, or just treadmill alone, before and after each workout. I have high endurance, and endurance training is not a big deal for me. I can run faster than most people. And yet I still wouldn't do it. The people who say they'll run, they're not good runners. And if I'm trained to hurt people and they run, I only did the treadmill to chase them down. For example, they stole something from me. I chase them down and I apprehend them. Running away is stupid. But if you're going to do that, it's a skinny guy with no muscles and no strength. He's really bad at strength training, but he's really good at endurance. He's weak and skinny, but he can run fast. He is prey. A predator might be big and strong and slow to catch up to him. That's the argument about cardio. Most fights are over in 30 seconds. If you're doing a ring thing in multiple rounds, you need cardio to go and go and go. Sports is ass, and it just does not matter. And I'm always going to look at that as hiding in the ring. Here's the test. Find a pro fighter. Challenge him to a fight. First thing he'll say is, put on some gloves, meet me in the ring. When he says that, punch him in the mouth and fight him right then and there. He wants to fight in his element where it's safe and there's a rule set. He can't apply his ring thing to the streets. For whatever reason, he will not street fight you. It's because he's scared. When somebody will not do something, it's because they're scared. I have no fear. I'm not scared. I will fight him in the ring, but instead of him trying to rig in his favor, I will just beat his ass right then and there. Because that'll expose his weaknesses and he'll have to shut up because he lost. Throws a punch. So that's quick. This is a little bit slower. This is fast. That is fast. Pauses in between. You will see things like that in karate kata. You will see things like that in the aikido I do. This is true karate. This is true aikido. This is true street fighting applications. Kata works. That's the movement. That's the entire sequence. It's not complicated. It's not long. It's not a bunch of small, intricate movements. That's a myth made by people who sell military systems and lie about it so they can make more money. And they're bad fighters. They're over 60, short, and pot-bellied. So, asymmetrical. Problem with kata. Okinawan and Japanese karate alike. You'll always have one side stronger than the other. So they will say things like work your weaker side twice as strong. In reality, you'll have a weak side and a strong side. And the weak side will never catch up to the strong side. The idea of being strong on both sides, here's my strong side, it's good. I'm not going to improve it. Here's my weak side. Try to make it catch up. I'll have two mediocre sides. Here's my strong side. It's strong. Keep training it and make it more and more devastating lethal. And my weak side will always be like a weakness. Symmetry says eliminate your weakness. This is good, but this thing is a weakness. This other thing is a weakness. Make it stronger so you have no weakness. The traditional arts that stress symmetry are trying to eliminate weakness. Something else that's asymmetrical is trying to maximize your strong point. So a traditional thing is like, my weak side is weak, eliminate the weakness. Something else would be like, this is my strong thing, I want it to be as strong as possible. I went this way and did the same thing. My stance is rigid where I go forward in a boxing stance, pivot and hook in a boxing stance, or to the side. I'm not switching sides. In aikido practice, we have to go this side. Let's say he throws a left jab. I have to step, then pivot, and then do something. That's slow because it's hard to step and go like this. And it's a few things. horizontal to the side. The reason for directly to the side is throw a jab. If I step in like this, I got hit by the punch. Then I have to move like this and do this and whatever. In aikido, this is the main thing because it works really good. Let's say you have to fight someone who's left-handed and the knife's in the left hand. Then we might have to step and do these other things. If he throws a right cross, slap, grab, twist, break. If he throws a jab, right cross, check it, then move to the side. So, throws a jab, there, and you're already moving. Check it, and you're already moving. Deflect, deflect, grab, grab, twist, break. Throw. The purpose of aikido is to do standing arm bars dynamically. You don't grab and wrestle like it's a sport. You grab, break, and throw him to the ground, you're still standing. The second you touch him, he should be down. The second he touches you, he should be down. It should be fast and dynamic. They train to, so he does something, move and go like this. You can practice that a long time and master it. It just takes a long time to learn. A simpler way would be keeping your dominant stance and trying to go offline this way or training this way. If he threw like a left punch, instead of stepping, blocking, catching, grabbing like this, you can just enter straight in. So he's throwing like a left punch. Block, attack, sweep, takedown, or punch, or something else. You can strike. Aikido doesn't teach striking, but they say 90% of Aikido is striking. The fact of the matter is, striking is very basic. Punching, hitting. Throw the left, block. It's part of my hand. I'm going to hit him in the mouth. Left jab, block, strike. Right punch. I can punch like that. Aside from that, you want to do an evasion thing. Throws the left punch. I can try to step, block, and then do the arm bar, and it's slow, and I risk running into the punch. Punches, I walked into it. If you miss, here and here, kind of jammed up. The distance is bad because when he's like this, you punch like this is pulled back. When he's like this, it's here. You punch like this, or he comes in. This is forward, this is back. So that side on him is forward. I'm going to go this way. Punches, I'm going to go this way. My shoulder, his shoulder. We're like shoulder to shoulder. I have to come in somehow like this. It's tricky and it's slow. And you can bump and you can get rough contact and it can be inaccurate. It's better if he just throws the left right. Throws the left, I check it, I know the right's coming. I can predict it and move ahead. Through the left, I know the right's coming. So automatically, pre-programmed, he 1-2s, block, and I'm already moving. Maybe he doesn't throw the punch. Doesn't matter, I'm out of the way. And now I'm trying to get to an advantageous angle to strike or attack. So what would he do? Left jab, left jab. Here's what I'm thinking. Left, right. Check this, and then I already moved. He's so slow, by the time he does this, I can grab his elbow easily. Now let's say he did this. I can step behind him, grab his shoulders, pull him down, throw my knee into his back, strike his back in the spine, or just throw him, sheer him out. Left, right. Block, then arm bar. He's going to throw 2 jabs, block, step, grab, knee, and throw down. Or grab, turn, and throw down. The advantage of this is I only have to train one side, one stance. I don't have to constantly switch stance like Taekwondo. Or sport style MMA. So his rear hand, his lead hand, if it's his rear hand, I want to move forward and get close. Aikido wants to be close. It doesn't want to run away. Okay, his front hand is close to me. If I move to the side, I'm still close. To maintain closeness, his father's hand, I have to step and enter in and get closer. His lead hand is already close. I have to go to the side and I still have that arm. Same. So it's angle, straight forward, or sideways. 45, and then 0, and then 90 degrees. There really isn't a 45 this way and a 45 this way. It's not symmetrical. I beat up the kid on his head. Here's a wimp. He does Korean aikido. You want to borrow my aikido book? I paid $136 for it. I used to go to the Lakewood Library and they had it there and I used to read it. And it was so good I ordered it off Amazon. Anyways. Cut that out. So, when I first started, I wanted to practice these side type things because I want to be very complete. And Aikido's lazy and they didn't want to train that with me. And I was too lazy to find people who train that and drill everything. In Japan, they very much do both sides because they very much want to be complete. You're spreading yourself thin, learning multiple things that you're mediocre at everything instead of very good at this thing that's likely to happen and not so good at this thing that won't happen. Let's say, in general, if you're just fighting a regular person, 16% of the population is left-handed. They'll have a southpaw stance. When it comes to fighting sports, a third to 40% of the fighters are left-handed. So if you're doing sports, yeah, you have to do both sides. For street fighting, you don't have to deal with right-handed people. When it comes to his left-handed, he has a knife or whatever, there's many ways to deal with a knife. Take off your shirt and wrap it around or something. So you should never be scared. You enter straight in and you throw a punch or a kick and you KO. You overwhelm him with violence, you take him out. You get in, you do the job, you take him out. You should never be scared. Typically, if somebody pulls a knife, they're smaller than you or weaker than you, they can't fight, but having a knife makes them feel confident. They pull that out, they don't really know how to use it, you can take the advantage and rush him and jump him and defeat him. He's weak and pull the knife. If you're weak, then you're gonna have to run away. If you're strong, then you can rush him and beat him. That's about it. Pulling blocks. So here, like a sidestep or body shift. Here. So outside his arm, I go like this. So he wants to throw something, block, nudge him. He's punching, pink. So he's punching, block. I'm getting lit up. I can knock it on the inside and shoot off to that 45 degree, hit his throat. Should not be standing if you hit him like that. If he's still standing like that, you just stomp on his knee. So bang, here, strike, stomp his knee. This is like things you wouldn't do in sports because it'll end someone's career. These are meaning things. This is the purpose. People ask if something's effective, it's, well, I don't know. Are you willing to hurt the person and take him out? Or are you playing by a rule set where you're trying to protect the dude? And then somehow trying to call that superlative. I will never respect sports. Never. I used to like sports until I did martial arts. It made sports look silly. So anyways. Inside block, outside block. These are all pulling blocks. So he throws a punch, catch, pull back. Let's pull his hand off, go with it, punch. And that's like the Okinawan kaki or whatever. Kind of like sticky hands, but not really. It's more harder. Maybe when you show them, not really. It's the Japanese version where it's more blocking to condition the forearms. Smacking and smacking and daily training forges your limbs into like on iron. So he throws a block here. The thing about a block is you're guarding, you're shifting out of the line of trajectory. You're supposed to move. So he attacks, you move, you're not there. Put your hand up as insurance. If there's a connection there, that connection is called musubi, you can exploit it, but it's not the goal. It's not, I want to do this technique, I must complete this technique. Aikido is very spontaneous where you take whatever's available. And some of the names, or some of the moves don't have names, and some of the names are invented on the spot. It's not one move that's picture perfect, it's a concept or principle of how to move and manipulate the joints and anatomy to throw them down or take them down. And because it's so fluid, it tends to look good. When people get a little bit silly, they start doing more dance instead of fighting. But it is very fluid. You have to always think in any type of training, will this technique be decisive? Will it take the person out? When I'm coming in, am I exposed to being countered? Can I come in and be safe? While I'm coming in and I'm safe, will this technique take them out? How hard can I actually hit this way? You can't get hit, and your techniques have to be effective. So when it comes to effectiveness, you're either breaking his arm or punching or kicking him in the face. A broken arm works, a punch or kick in the face hurts, it works. I don't understand the question of is something effective. I don't know how to prove to you that big punch or kick in the face will knock the dude out. Other than show you countless videos that I link on my community page. Or a broken arm. These are not any type of thoughts you should be thinking. Your mind is wired wrong. That is like complete loser thinking. And in this stance, the punch, inside block, I attack from his arm, outside his guard. Punches, inside his guard. If I want to do it with the other hand, I have to step in like this. This is kind of awkward. We'll cut down, come up and hit his head, get a kaiten nage, throw him, do a shoulder roll. I would attack the shoulder joint in some unprepared way that will damage it. Depending on who I'm fighting, how they're built, and what their relative like distance and length or whatever angle to me is, that will determine like how the technique looks and how it's applied. It's not given a name. It's a general movement. Hard for me to step in and knock like this. Arguably more powerful, but I don't really train for that. I normally train to go for this side because I assume to fight like a right-handed person. Left-handed person, I have other techniques or other strategies. He's attacking with that side. Typically, I want to take his right arm, which is his strongest arm, his strongest weapon, break it and remove it from battle. His left arm, I don't really want to break that. I don't want to attack his weak arm. I want to attack his strong arm. I'm equally good at breaking both. We're fighting. Ow, my left arm's hurt. I'll still throw right punches. My right arm's hurt. I have to throw left punches or left jabs, or now get into like an orthodox southpaw stance, and I'm right-handed. I'd rather fight with a broken left arm and throw haymakers than fight with a broken right arm and any type of jab or like weak left punch. So other things are using like the least force, I'm kind of using like the most within reason. This isn't even the most force I can use. This is just no nonsense, like straight up my first ideas. Very basic, I have other ideas. I show maybe like 1% of my stuff. I'm waiting for people to catch up to like my basics so I can show more. I'll show this in sparring and keep doing this scoring technique. And it won't be fun for you because you're losing. And until you can defeat this first technique, I'm gonna keep using it. My go-to move. Point, point, tag, tag. Oh, you learned how to block that? Here's the second one. And we keep doing that. I'm not going on to like the second part until you master the first part because there's no reason. I'm button spamming. I'm Tap, 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 tap. I keep spamming the same move. You can't defeat it. Like that. Why you crouch and you put a little kick. It's annoying. And then you lose and the guy beats you and you grab his control and you throw it on the ground because he cheated. If you keep doing the same move and they keep losing, they're just like, and they get mad, they're just a bad sport. I'm not pulling out my whole bag of tricks. You can't even deal with the first thing I do. Why the hell should I show you anything more? You failed this class, I'll artificially promote you to the second class. You failed that one, another artificial promotion. Learn one really good technique, learn one really good attack, or one really good defense, and then go into the second one. I suppose if it was a full class and other people, you're holding us back, I guess we'll skip over you and move on to the next thing. But you're falling behind the rest of the class, you're not really learning. I don't teach a class, I'm not a teacher. I would show people things, I would spar with people, this is how I would do it. I wouldn't try to be impressive, I wouldn't try to win at sparring. I let the other person attack me and I'd block things. I work on my defense. But really, I would work on them learning how to attack with confidence. If it was just me constantly attacking someone who had less skill, then I'm just bullying them. I'm running up, overwhelming them, and they're trying to cope. And they're not going to learn because, and it's not going to be fun because I'm winning, I'm just teeing off on them. I don't really need to spar. I don't need that part of my, for my training, I don't need a pressure test. I'm not a beginner. I don't have to test to see if shit works. I wonder if a punch to the face works. I wonder if a kick to the face works. Why wouldn't it? Those things work. Oh, can you do it? The only people who need a pressure test are people who are wimps, who like don't know how to fight and they take it for the art. There is no art. This is fighting. Art means skill in beating the shit out of people. Martial arts, the art part means beating the crap out of them. Nothing else. Anybody who says so is lying. Half of Japanese people agree with me, the other half are sissies who disagree. The half that think it's a religion can't fight. The other half that think it's fighting, that's just the truth and obvious. I'm punching and kicking this dude in the face. It's not to be friends. I don't care if he gets pissed. I don't care if he runs and tells his friends. I don't care if he comes back next week with a gun. Right here, right now, I'm beating his ass. And he can feel how the fuck he wants to feel about me. And he can escalate if he wants. If he escalates and comes back, it's not I beat him too bad and he's too angry. It's I didn't beat him hard enough so that he knew better. That's the problem with humiliating people. You didn't really hurt the person, you just made them lose face. So they got the idea they can't beat you, but you kind of did wimpy little fruity moves. That will piss off a criminal and they will come back and shoot you. But if you just clean and fair, just like kick their ass from one corner to the other, they learn the lesson and leave it the fuck alone. Annoying shit makes somebody want to shoot you. Manly things make someone want to respect you. I don't think these people understand violence or how criminals think or how opponents think. I think they're just training people and their students to die. I don't care, they're not my students. When I come in like this, I have to go this way, this. So if I'm going to maintain the stance, I can do this from the outside, this from the inside. So look at this, throws like a right punch. This from the inside, this is the cat stance. If I do this from the inside, that was right punch. If I want to deal with the left arm, I have to do the same thing, but I have to move sideways. So if he's coming towards me, a retreating cat stance. This from karate. And aikido is more swinging coming down. Karate is more shoot out. This linear strike. Aikido is more up over your head and come down. It's more like a circle. Throwing a punch, this. If I wanted to kind of stay right here, there's no point to go this far, so karate, bring your hand here and this. You have to kind of shorten it up and Here's the center of my body. It kind of has to come here and maybe here. So it's coming in. Pull. Pull. So the other side throws a left jab. Side and pull. My shoulders here, my knees here were like this, we're kind of close. He came in, he threw the left punch like this, and here's all this, guarding all his body. So I'm standing over there, this is all protected. But if I'm standing right here, all of this is exposed. His center line, his head, all that. A punch and miss, you stand there and you throw a punch, a block like this. I'll block with my elbow, break your fist. I'll hammer fist. So you want to kind of get inside the person's guard, open, explore. Two things. Right punch, move to the outside, and pull this way. That's the first thing. Here's the second thing. Right punch, on the inside, and pull this way. A left punch, so the left punch is coming, move to the side, and now I'm on the outside, and I do the inside block, but from the outside. I'm trying to avoid stepping forward, inside block. Instead of stepping forward and inside block, punch is coming, move and pull, strike, ski. That way I can maintain my strongest, most dominant stance. Instead of having to train two stances, I only train one. Zen minimalism, less is more. Modern things, you're doing everything and it's all mediocre. Let's just take martial arts off the table and it's just street fighting. Here's two guys and they're fighting. What techniques do you expect to see? They're just slugging it out. Nothing fancy. Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose. The people who are losing are people who go to a McDojo, train a whole bunch of techniques, and they can't fight. The people who are winning are the people who are street tested. They have a small set of moves, but they practice them 10,000 times. They're well honed with it. They have a Zen minimalism, how to move their body, how to move their hands. It makes no sense having all these like techniques that you have to polish and maintain that like you can't learn every technique and master it. You just can't. You can't be complete. It's impossible. It's in vain. It's a fool's errand. To be the smartest person doesn't mean read every book. If there was 200,000 books and you read like one book a month, it'd probably take you like 20,000 years to read them all. The goal is not read every book and know all language or all knowledge and have complete knowledge. It's to be expert in one field. Master of all trades or ace of none. The goal is not to know everything, it's to know a few things expertly. And to specialize in key things that appeal to you as a person. It's not, here's the syllabus and everything offered, and pick everything off the list to master. And now you're complete or the quintessential whatever, martial artist. Here's the women's techniques, here's the men's techniques, here's the adult techniques, here's the children's techniques. A stranger grabs a little kid, pulls the thumb back, the little kid's grabbed, he grabs the thumb, pulls it back like this, kicks him in the shin, runs, seeks shelter and help. I don't teach running away. I don't teach children things. I don't teach children's katas. Those are children's katas. Plain and simple. Never existed. They're taken from a bigger kata and they're introduced for the school system in Japan. Those are children's katas. The applications, the bunkai, the oyo, is children oyo. Different levels of understanding, you have like a more lethal, violent, destructive, whatever. You're trying to do more damage. That's not what they teach children. They don't teach children to cause that much damage. I don't teach fake things. I don't teach children things. I see children who are going to McDojo and I'm like, are they teaching you to fight? And whatever they can say, I don't care. I'm not teaching them. They're little kids. I don't teach children. I have no interest in it. I have no interest in teaching kids how to kill other people. Seems irresponsible. What if they lack maturity? What if I'm just lazy and it's a pain in the ass? What the fuck do I care? I'm not responsible for that person. Now, if it was my son or my family member, that changes everything. These are people I actually have to care about. I would teach them. I'm not completely hopeless. So, inside pulling block, outside pulling block, side step, and outside pulling block. Those 3 blocks. Retreating is a cat stance. Moving forward is a zenkutsu, or whatever. Moving this way. This is a zenkutsu. Entering straight in. This would be like a zenkutsu. Come up a little bit higher. Tobudachi. Tobudachi is like this. I'm shifting like this. I'm like this. I'm like this. It's my own hybrid stance. So let me take a thing here. I have to move in. So however that is, that's like, this feels like aikido to me. This stance, this leaning forward feels strong. Feels like aikido to me. This is my everyday stance. Hands just like this. If the person is close, I put my hands here to guard my face. If I'm like this and he's far away, he steps close, I guard. If he's at a distance, he can't hit me in the face. If he gets really close and just stand like this and he punches me in the face and come up to block, he already hit me. Keep your hands up, they'll get tired. He backs up, I put my hands down. He steps forward, I put my hands back up. Put my hands up, and I guard. And I'm holding it so that, not to say no, I don't want it, but to do some small circular block, or come in and strike, or come in and attack, or come in and punch. My hands are ready to defend and attack. I don't have anything else to say. This is it. The pivot thing, the straight in thing, and the sideways thing. Those 3 things, those 2 blocks. Inside and outside, and how to use inside against the right punch, and how to sidestep and use the outside block inside his guard, outside block outside his guard. No matter what he's doing on this side, block it, move to the side, grab him and throw him down. Simple. Spar it, pressure test it. When your sparring partner is able to block that side consistently, then you'll have to start doing things on the other side. If it was boxing, I would throw a left hook or a right punch and knock him out with 1 punch. If it was karate, I would just tee off with alternating punches, or same side reverse punches, knock him down. Or I'd do a takedown or something. If it was aikido, I would, what was I going to say? If it was aikido, I'll go to the left side and do hiji waza, one of the 6 teachings. Or I would go to the right side and do one of the nage waza and throw them. If I was facing multiple people, I would use aikido. I would enter in to attack, grab the person, flip them, and throw them on the ground. Turn to the next person, head straight in their direction, attack them. I would not allow the attack to come to me. I would not wait first. I would not let them initiate. I would use sen, sen, no sen. I would initiate. Before they even do anything, here's 7 noos. Well, then I'm just lining them up and I'm just coming in. Bing, bing, bing. I already took out 3. And there's 4 left standing. I am rather disgusted by how Aikido says it doesn't know how to attack, make up some dumb shit about how to attack, and that's not the Aikido I was taught. It's not what I learned, and it doesn't make any sense. They made up a silly-ass religion that said they don't know how to fight, and then they mixed it with other things that didn't improve shit, and then lied and said it did. They ran it to the ground and watered it down. They are not the truth. Come up, bam, iriminage, knock him down. Do that to all the other guys. Spam the shit out of iriminage, or spam whatever move, whatever takes the least amount of time. But it is never you're grabbing and wrestling and trying to get a hold and shoving. That is not martial arts. That's not true Budo. That's sports. That only exists as a test of strength, so that afterwards a handshake and a beer. That is westernized martial arts that are watered down. They don't have the skill. They don't have the killer instinct that the Japanese do, that devise these cool ways of hurting people. That the Western world said, it's too brutal, it's too barbaric, it offends our sensibilities. We're going to water it down. And that's what they did. By no means did they make it more effective. They watered it down, then started losing fights, then blamed the traditional martial art, which they weren't really doing, just a hollow shell of itself, and then said they're going to do MMA and make it modern, and modern works. To complicate things even further, they try to point to Bruce Lee and say he was the father of MMA or something. Every single martial arts is a mixed martial art. That's a lagging dragon. So anyways, all martial arts are mixed martial arts. Bruce Lee, he trained for 1.5 years in Wing Chun. He was at IP Man's thing. He beat up some rich kid. IP Man quit training him. He had his top student train him at a, kind of secretly. Here was the main thing, and they were doing dough, and they wanted to have that good image. He was getting into trouble fighting. One of IP Man's students was a street fighter. Here's a different dojo or a different part of the thing. Dude's house, whatever, where the real fighters train. It's a shit gym. It looks really crappy. It's a fighter's gym. Bruce Lee trained there with dude. And that's where he learned his real fighting. Came back to America because he had to retain his citizenship. In America, he had to fill holes in his Wing Chun because he didn't really master. He never got a sash or a belt or any type of anything from IP Man. He had a whole bunch of holes in his game that he tried to replace with getting as big and physically strong as possible through weightlifting. That's how he threw out his back. He tried to, or the best I know, I would have to research that. I can't remember what I read. There's all the fake movies about him. None of that shit's true. The things I read, it talks about those things about what's real and what's fake and how it really happened. And then one person says one thing and another person says another thing. I just quit caring altogether. Bruce Lee was before my generation. My generation was Bloodsport and Van Damme and kickboxing. When I was 14, I wanted to do kickboxing. I'll talk shit about kickboxing later. Problem is, they're not more effective. They overcommit. They can be easily countered. They're not realistic. They're doing things that can hurt them. They don't really hit harder. Anybody can hit that hard if they overcommit. For example, okay, so let's street fight, let's box. If I do this and come up, boom, I'm overcommitted. But that's really shitty and easy to counter. So if you don't know how to fight, someone's going to come up and bully you and throw that shit on you and catch you with that shit and knock you out. You're a sucker, you don't know how to fight. That's not boxing though. You'll never see that in boxing. The only time that shit happens, either you got caught slipping or he just really outclassed you. That's not street fighting, that's the knockout game. You go up to some nerd that can't fight and just come up and hit him. From the front, from the side, or the back, just throw one punch, try to knock him out. More popular now than in the 90s. You had a little bit of that, but shit's rampant now. 90s was like this and linear striking. I don't know what the fuck people are doing nowadays. It's cringy to watch. So but as long as it works, there's a bunch of cringy shit and dudes walking away. So I'm not gonna really style shame. If it works, it works. Your shit was ass and you still won. So I don't care about methods, I care about results. If dude's that much shitty and you can outclass him that easy, why not? We used to call that clowning him. You bam! Lick your hand and slap him in the face. So we're like this, and I pause and lick and slap you. That's now you're mixing Tawny. That's a step away from dancing and shit. Punch, and then do a little dance, and then punch. Now you're just mocking dude. You're saying he's garbage. 8 minutes. It's 50 minutes, so we'll let 10 minutes to quit. Bruce Lee gave up on like kung fu and started, let me cross train in boxing, let me cross train in wrestling. I can beat somebody with aikido alone. I can beat somebody with karate alone. I can beat somebody with like boxing alone. I wouldn't have to mix everything together and have an esoteric system. Most people who do that, their shit is garbage. It doesn't work. They're mediocre in all 3 things or all things they're training. Here's my base, and then here's this extra shit I did, and I hope it's enough to get me through. You hope? Hope is a dirty 4-letter word. You hope? So no, so you should know for a fact. So Bruce Lee gave up on traditional martial arts, was barely confident in Wing Chun, boxing, wrestling, and weightlifting. People do one thing, and then they try to quote Bruce Lee to justify what they're doing. That really wasn't what Bruce Lee was about. They just make up shit. It's called a misconception. It's like really retarded. Nobody from my generation cared really much about Bruce Lee, or would say retarded shit like how I hear on the internet. The internet's just designed to lie. They don't want you to win, they want you to lose. I actually want you to win. You can't win with that. They're watering down your shit, telling you it's better, tricking you, because they want you to lose. They're fake friends. Pure conspiracy, pure evil, it's a put on. It's phony, they're lying. And they constantly steal my shit, and they try to put a twist on it, and regurgitate it back on me, so that it's like, they kind of said what I was saying, so I can't say they're wrong. I will always say they're wrong. They're putting a twist on my shit, and they're lying. They're not the truth. They don't want to be. It's like they don't want shit to work. Aikido by itself can like beat any style. How would somebody attack you? If somebody kicks you, sweep the leg, kick their leg, throw them down. Most defense to a kick is just get out of the way. Any martial art, if the guy kicks, you move out the way or whatever. Get on barai from karate and hook and sweep and come up, and then chop down and throw. That's like an aikido thing. Aikido doesn't kick, I wouldn't really add it in there. Aikido and judo are both based on jiu-jitsu, so you can have a little bit of overlap there. But if and only if the judo throw you're doing isn't a wrestling match first. It's touch the person and throw them. Grab him and then like hip throw. Anything off of that is you threw him on the ground, you cracked his ribs, or you smashed it, you fractured his skull. The part about it's not being a mat. Judo, as a sport, you have to throw the guy safely on his back. Aikido is a combat art, not a combat sport. We throw them on their head or their shoulder to break their shoulder or break their head. We really don't do anything nice to him. Oh, he just rolled out of it. Everybody just rolls out of it. That's like so he doesn't get hurt. In a real thing, you wouldn't let him do that. In a real thing, you wouldn't be able to do that. And he just rolled out of it, well, I guess he's not hurt. Doesn't matter, he got thrown. Let's play Aikido. This is like fake now. Come at me. I really threw you, but you rolled out of it. What are you saying? I touch you, and you automatically drop and roll? Yeah, that would be wrong. What are you saying? I actually threw you, but then you do this defensive flip to get out of it and protect yourself? If it's, you're just giving me the throw, then that's dishonest Aikido training. You should not do that. If it's, I threw him and he rolled out of it to be safe, he took the fall, and that's safe, the only argument I can hear is you want to throw people harder. And maybe that's called big throws. Then he has to know how to do a high fall or a break fall. The rolling out of it's a white belt thing. If you see a demonstration and they're doing like white belt rolls, they're saying it's easy because they're marketing towards nerds and people who are wimps who are too scared of doing karate. I don't like karate, it looks too macho. Ooh, Aikido looks gay, I think it's safe. Aikido works. but they just like hire wimps, or they just like train wimps who have no real interest in fighting or being tough. It comes down to personality. If I found the wimpiest dude and I taught him boxing, he's not going to win in boxing. He'd lose to anybody. That doesn't prove that boxing isn't effective. Somebody told me that judo was the art of folding people neatly while they're in their knees. All martial arts is fighting. If you're striking, it's to hit them in the head and cause knockout, hit them anywhere in their body and break bones. You don't have to headhunt. If the person's guarding their head, there's many times where you have to go to the body. I'm going to move on. If you're striking, you hit them in the head and you knock them out. If you're grappling, you break the bones through a dislocation, or you slam them on the ground and you break their bones through the hard contact with the ground. Cops aren't allowed to do that because they have guns and weapons and all this other stuff, and the person may not even be resisting that much or a serious threat to them. Civilians do not have the restrictions that cops do. Pretty much all martial arts that I see are taught by cops who, since they can't do something, you're not allowed to do it. And here's the martial arts that they practice that they're teaching. Those aren't very good. Or it's about sports and self-defense is afterthought. Basically, I teach like the type of stuff somebody like John Wick would learn. So, attack first. Not even attack first. Enter into combat and defeat the enemy. Like, here's your enemy. You go and attack him. You have to take him out. That's what I'm teaching.